Have you ever wondered why some men in their 70s still walk with a confident stride, enjoy deep emotional connection with their partners, and wake up each morning feeling alive, while others quietly struggle with poor circulation, fading desire, and a deep sense of loneliness? It's not something many doctors will say out loud, but I will because it's the truth. The biggest reason older men suffer in the bedroom isn't age, it's their plate. Yes, the very food you eat each day may be slowly narrowing the blood vessels responsible for your most vital function as a man. But here's the surprising part. There are 5 simple natural foods that can help unblock those arteries and restore not just blood flow, but your confidence, your connection, and your vitality. I'm Dr. James, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping older men reclaim their energy, their manhood, and their quality of life. I've sat with thousands of men who felt invisible or broken, and I've watched them come back to life the moment we fixed one thing: their circulation. Now here's where most people get it wrong. It's not about prescriptions, surgery, or expensive pills. In fact, some of the most effective tools are already in your kitchen. But no one ever explained how or why they work, especially when it comes to improving blood flow where it matters most. And make no mistake, this isn't just about heart health, it's about performance. Urinary strength, intimacy, pride. So what are these 5 foods, and how do they work so quickly? In a moment, I'll walk you through each one and show you how they naturally increase nitric oxide, improve blood flow, and revive your physical vitality after 60. These aren't trends or hacks, they're real, research-backed solutions trusted by thousands of men I've worked with over the years. No side effects, no prescriptions, just nature doing what it does best. But before we get to that list, it's important to understand why circulation breaks down after 60, what really causes those veins to tighten and slow down, and what subtle signs you might be ignoring right now. Because once you understand that, these 5 foods won't just be suggestions. They'll feel like the roadmap back to the man you used to be. So stay with me. You may already have the 3rd food sitting quietly in your fridge, and it's more powerful than most pills you've ever tried. Let's begin. 1. Beets, the natural nitric oxide booster. There's something about beets that surprises even the most skeptical men I've worked with. When I first recommend them, some raise an eyebrow. Beets, really? But weeks later, they come back with a different expression. Relief, sometimes even disbelief. Doc, something's different. I wake up feeling more alive. Things are working again. That's because beets, humble as they may seem, are one of nature's most powerful tools for restoring circulation, especially where it matters most after 60. Beets are rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule essential for relaxing and widening your blood vessels. And that process is critical. Because when your vessels are open, blood flows more easily, especially to the areas that tend to slow down with age. For men, that means stronger performance, improved intimacy, and even better control over urination. I've had men tell me they feel warmer in their legs, their hands, their lower region, like something switched back on. That's not just circulation improving, that's life returning. And this isn't theoretical, it's measurable. Clinical studies show that consuming beetroot juice or roasted beets regularly helps reduce blood pressure, improve endothelial function, and increase stamina during both physical and intimate activities. But even more than the numbers, it's what it gives back emotionally: confidence, connection, and a renewed sense of manhood. I remember a 70-year-old patient, widowed for years, who said he had given up on romance. 2 months into a beet-rich diet, he met someone new and told me, "I feel like I'm 40 again. I didn't know food could do that." Beets aren't a magic pill, but they are a powerful start. Whether juiced, roasted, or blended into a smoothie, they support circulation in a way most supplements simply can't. And for men over 60 looking to stay vibrant, present, and connected, it's one of the smartest foods you can bring into your routine. But beets are just the beginning. Because the next food I'll share doesn't just support blood flow, it mimics the effects of certain performance-enhancing medications without the side effects. And chances are, it's already on your summer picnic table. Let's take a closer look. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Watermelon, nature's Viagra. I still remember the look on my patient's face when I suggested watermelon. He chuckled and said, "Doc, I thought you were going to prescribe something serious." I smiled and told him, "Just trust me." 3 weeks later, he walked into my office beaming. "You were right," he said. "It's working." You see, watermelon isn't just a sweet summer fruit, it's one of the most underrated weapons we have for improving circulation and restoring intimacy in older men. What makes watermelon so powerful is an amino acid called citrulline. Once inside your body, citrulline is converted into another compound, arginine, which then boosts nitric oxide production. That nitric oxide relaxes your blood vessels, allowing better blood flow throughout the body, especially to the pelvic region. And when blood flows better there, everything begins to function better. Firmer performance, stronger connection, and more natural desire. It's a gentle process, but incredibly effective. For men over 60, where natural testosterone levels may dip and vascular elasticity declines, watermelon acts like a natural support system. It doesn't force anything, it enhances what your body still wants to do. One man I treated, 74 years old, told me he hadn't felt alive down there in over a year. He started eating watermelon daily, just fresh slices after dinner, and within a few weeks he said he started waking up with morning energy again, both mentally and physically. The beauty of watermelon is that it's enjoyable and easy to add to your life. You're not choking down pills or dealing with side effects, you're just enjoying something refreshing and sweet while silently repairing the flow of life beneath the surface. And for older men who feel like that part of their life is gone, it's not. It's just waiting to be unblocked. But if watermelon gently opens the door, the next food kicks it wide open. It's not sweet or juicy. In fact, it's something many men overlook at every meal. But what it does to your arteries, especially those leading to the most private parts of your body, is nothing short of remarkable. Don't miss this one. 3. Spinach, the leaf that opens arteries. I've met men in their 60s and 70s who told me they felt like their spark had vanished, tired during the day, disconnected at night, unable to feel the warmth they once had in their relationships. But when we look beyond the symptoms, the root issue is almost always the same: sluggish blood flow. And the fix? Often it started with something as simple and as overlooked as spinach. Yes, spinach. This leafy green may not sound exciting, but what it does inside your body is nothing short of powerful. Spinach is rich in natural nitrates, magnesium, and folate, nutrients that open up your arteries, reduce stiffness in your blood vessels, and let circulation flow more freely. And for older men, that means more energy, improved clarity, and most important of all, stronger blood flow to your most intimate areas. I had a patient, 69 years old, who was skeptical at first. But after 3 weeks of eating spinach daily, steamed in the evening or mixed into his morning eggs, he came back with tears in his eyes and said, "For the first time in years, I felt like a man again. My wife noticed. I noticed." Something shifted. That shift wasn't magic. It was better oxygen delivery, better vascular tone, and a more responsive nervous system. Spinach isn't just good for your heart, it feeds the entire system that keeps you connected, responsive, and alive. It doesn't just help blood move through your body, it helps energy move through your relationship. That emotional closeness, that desire to touch and be touched, it comes back when your body feels safe and supported, and that's what spinach quietly does behind the scenes. You don't need to eat bowls of it. Even a handful added to your meals can begin reversing the hidden damage time may have caused. And when you feel your circulation picking up, it's not just about the physical changes, it's about confidence, dignity, wholeness. But if spinach works gently to support flow, the next food might surprise you even more. Because unlike greens or fruits, it's rich, dark, and almost feels indulgent. And yet what it does for men's health, especially in the bedroom, has stunned even the most seasoned researchers. Let's explore it. 4. Dark chocolate. Yes, chocolate. When I first mention dark chocolate to my patients, most of them laugh. "You're telling me chocolate is good for my blood flow?" they ask, half joking. But once I explain the science and they try it for themselves, the laughter turns into quiet appreciation. Because yes, dark chocolate, when chosen correctly and eaten in moderation, is one of the most surprisingly powerful foods for men over 60 who want to improve circulation and reconnect with their intimate health. Dark chocolate is packed with flavonoids, natural compounds that help your blood vessels relax, reduce inflammation, and boost nitric oxide levels in the body. That last part is key. Nitric oxide is what helps your arteries open up and allow blood to move freely. And when blood can move freely, especially to the lower region, it brings with it energy, sensitivity, and responsiveness. I remember a 73-year-old patient who had struggled with confidence in his relationship for years. He began eating just 2 small squares of 85% dark chocolate after dinner each night. A month later, he came in smiling. He told me he and his wife had shared an evening they hadn't experienced in years. "It felt natural," he said, "like we'd found our rhythm again." That's the beauty of real dark chocolate. It's not just delicious, it works with your body, not against it. It doesn't force an artificial reaction like some pills do. It nourishes your blood vessels, supports your heart, and helps restore the responsiveness you once took for granted. And perhaps just as importantly, it offers a small daily moment of enjoyment, something that feels good emotionally while also doing good physically. But remember, it has to be the right kind. Go for at least 70% cocoa, low in sugar, and savor it slowly. Your blood vessels and your partner will thank you for it. Still, if chocolate caught you off guard, the final food on our list might surprise you even more. It's not sweet. It's not rich. In fact, its smell alone makes some men hesitate. But what it does inside your arteries is nothing short of remarkable. And it just might be the most powerful circulation food of them all. Let's take a look. 5. Garlic, the artery cleaner. If there's one food that's been underestimated for generations, it's garlic. Sure, people know it adds flavor to food, but what most don't realize, especially men over 60, is just how profoundly garlic can clean out the very arteries that fuel your strength, your energy, and your intimacy. I've had men come into my office worried, embarrassed, even ashamed that their bodies weren't responding the way they used to. And time after time, when we focused on improving their blood flow from the inside out, starting with garlic, they came back with stories of quiet transformation. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which is released when it's chopped or crushed. This natural chemical works like a scrub brush for your arteries, helping dissolve plaque buildup, reduce blood pressure, and improve overall vessel flexibility. That's not just good for your heart, it's life-changing for the smaller, more sensitive vessels in your lower region. One man told me he started adding fresh garlic to his evening meals, not expecting much. But within weeks, he noticed something subtle but powerful. His hands and feet were warmer, his nighttime bathroom trips decreased, and his body felt more awake. Most importantly, he said, I felt connected again to myself and to her. It's not always easy at first. The taste is strong and the smell can linger, but what garlic gives you in return far outweighs the initial bite. It supports smoother blood flow, enhances oxygen delivery, and helps rebuild the foundation of your vitality. Without drugs, without procedures, just honest-to-goodness natural healing. And when combined with the other 4 foods we've discussed, it becomes even more effective. Because while each of these foods is powerful on its own, the real magic happens when you bring them together, supporting your circulation, hormones, and nervous system like a full team working in sync. So how do you actually combine them into your daily routine? What does it look like to build a circulation-boosting, intimacy-restoring plan after 60 that's easy, enjoyable, and sustainable? Let me show you exactly how it all fits together. This is where everything starts to click. How these foods work together. Individually, each of these foods, beets, watermelon, spinach, dark chocolate, and garlic, offers its own unique benefits. But when you bring them together, something powerful happens. It's like assembling a team where every player knows their role. One supports nitric oxide, another clears your arteries, one nourishes the blood vessels, while the next reduces pressure and inflammation. Over time, your circulation doesn't just improve, it transforms. I've had patients who tried one or two of these foods in isolation and noticed subtle changes. But the men who committed to weaving all five into their weekly routine? That's where I've seen real breakthroughs. One gentleman, 67 years old, was skeptical but agreed to give it 30 days. He started his mornings with beet juice and spinach omelets, enjoyed watermelon after dinner, added garlic to his soups, and finished his day with a square of dark chocolate. At the end of the month, he told me his legs didn't ache when he walked anymore. He felt clearer, slept better, and most touching of all, his wife had noticed the difference too. "I didn't expect this," he told me. "I feel like I've taken my body back." And that's exactly what these foods are designed to do. They don't just help your blood flow better, they support your confidence, rebuild your energy, and restore the emotional connection that so many men fear they've lost with age. It's not a diet, it's a return to wholeness. Each meal becomes an opportunity to heal, not just survive. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. Even small daily changes can produce major long-term gains, especially when you understand how food and blood flow are tied to the very core of your masculinity and well-being. But before you head to the grocery store or make any changes, I want to leave you with one final message. Because understanding these foods is one thing, but knowing what's really at stake if you ignore your circulation after 60, that's the part most men don't hear until it's too late. So in this last part, let me speak to you man to man about what happens if you do nothing and why it's not too late to turn everything around. A second chance at strength and connection. I've spent more than 30 years sitting across from men just like you, men who felt their best years were behind them, who quietly accepted the idea that fatigue, disconnection, and declining intimacy were just the price of aging. But I'm here to tell you that's not the truth, not even close. What I've seen over and over again is that the body, when given the right support, can recover even after 60, even after 70. Sometimes all it takes is a shift in what's on your plate to create a shift in how you feel, think, move, and love. These 5 foods we talked about today aren't hype. They're not some passing trend. They're the building blocks of blood flow, and blood flow is life. Beets to open your vessels. Watermelon to awaken natural desire. Spinach to support every heartbeat. Dark chocolate to relax the arteries. Garlic to clean them out. When used together, they don't just improve your numbers, they restore what many men thought was gone for good: the ability to connect deeply, to perform confidently, and to feel proud in their own skin again. I know this isn't always easy. Maybe you felt embarrassed, maybe you've been silent about the changes happening in your body, but please hear me when I say this. You are not alone, and there is a way forward. You don't need another prescription. You need to believe that your body still works and it wants to fight for you if you give it the chance. So start small. Make one change this week. Bring one of these foods into your daily rhythm. Notice how your body responds, and most of all, don't give up on yourself. Because strength after 60 isn't about being who you were. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be, a man who chooses to keep living fully. If this message has spoken to you, stay with me, because the next video may just open your eyes to the hidden habits that are still blocking your progress, no matter how healthy you eat. You won't want to miss it.